When you want to get the accurate information about the future of health and health insurance, just watch the Robin Harris Podcast Show every Thursday, 10 a.m. Arizona time at cellphoneradio.org or dial 408-418-5050 and enter the access code 81810#. It's an invigorating show where Robin brings you experts in the field of health and health insurance. The audience can view the show and ask questions of her guests in real time. That's the Robin Harris Podcast Show every Thursday, 10 a.m. Arizona time at cellphoneradio.org or dial 408-418-5050 and enter the access code 81810#. What's in your health insurance plan?
Welcome to the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance. I am so excited to have you here today because we have such a special show, a special guest. You will see right here, well, sort of, in video, Daniel Lynch with Medical Bill Gurus, and we're so excited to have him because he is going to talk about medical billing and how to get reimbursement for holistic, integrative medicine. A lot of people want to know about that. I mean, you could get reimbursement through your health insurance, and he's going to touch on that. And they are nationwide, and they even have an international influence. So you are going to love that interview at the 15 minutes after right now. So as you can see, we are in studio, and the chair right here is empty because you are going to be seeing Daniel. And it's been some kind of week, right? I mean, it's been a little up and down, a lot going on in the news. I went for a very long walk today to get my exercise, and I took my dog Dolly with me, and we always go for walks, and she terrorizes the neighborhood every single time. She barks at all the dogs. It doesn't matter how big they are. She's fearless. And I just want to show you a picture of my dog. This is when I got her. This was her profile when I got her at the pound. Look how scared she was. But she's not a scaredy dog at all. I mean, she's really sweet. And I got her at the ASPCA in 2015, and she's been my companion ever since. It says here that she was 9.30 pounds, but she's bigger than that now. She eats a lot of treats. But she's wonderful, and she makes my life full of joy. So last week, we had Margarita Venegas with Body Therapy and Hair Spa, and we got such a huge response from that show, from that interview. And the reason why is because that topic is not really talked about. And that was colon hydrotherapy and talking about keeping the colon cleansed and why it's important and all of that. And I just want you to know that Margarita has, if you go call her, or let's say you go to her website, bodytherapyaz.com, that's bodytherapyaz.com, then you call her, say that you heard about her on the show, Robin Harris, the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance. She will give you a 15% discount for a first-time customer, and that is huge. I mean, she has all these different packages, and she would love to hear from you. Okay? So, as you know, I'm Robin Harris. My company is Robin Harris Advisors. I am a health insurance broker, and the reason why I developed this show with my producer, which is James Dunson, was to bring the experts in the field of health and health insurance, because there's a lot of information out there. I mean, if you have a question, you go on Google and there's some information, but it's not necessarily accurate, is it? It could actually be misleading. It could actually be harmful to you. So here, if you're hearing it from the experts like Daniel Lynch, you're getting the information right from the source, and that's what this show is all about. So I go over, I have special guests, and then I also do some case study on health insurance. I talk about different types of health insurance, which could be individual, group, a disability, long-term care, you name it, dental, vision, even pet insurance, because my company offers all of those insurances, and I like to discuss those so you can really understand what those are and how they could be helpful to you. Okay, I've been getting questions about this right here. As you can see, this pendant, you see this pendant right here? I've been asked, what is this pendant that you wear all the time, Robin? My husband wears one too, and I'm going to tell you why. It's called a bodyguard pendant. All right? It's a bodyguard pendant. And this guards my body from electric and magnetic field radiation. Isn't that interesting? So this will help me. You see, I have right in front of me, you don't see it, but there's a full-blown tech here. There's screens, there's wires, there's all this radiation coming at me from above and so forth. And I'm a sitting duck. It's passing through me, it's going through my cells, and it's causing havoc. It's causing free radical damage into my body. But I put this on because what this will do, it will stop that from happening. It covers me 5.5 feet up, 5.5 feet on each way, 5.5 feet down below my feet. I wear it all the time. I wear it when I'm sleeping. It's always with me. I bought one for my husband too. And the reason why is he went to the doctor, and the doctor did a muscle test with his phone, okay? He did a muscle test with his phone. And come to find out, this is destroying his heart. Yeah, it's destroying it. It's eating away the heart tissues and the vessels. He always would take the phone and put it in his pocket. He's a man, right? He has that pocket right here. He puts his phone right here, and it's eating away his heart. Serious stuff, right? I want his heart just to be there, stay there. I want it to be healthy. So I bought him one of these pendants. Now, how you could get one of these pendants, you could actually go, it's one of my sponsors. So you could go on my website, robinharrisadvisors.com. You could go to the radio podcast tab, scroll down to sponsors, go to Doc of Detox, and you will see that right there. You can get one of these body protectors. It's called a bodyguard pendant. Now you could also get this with, you can get a large unit that if you have a farm or if you have livestock or if you have a garden, huge garden, like say you're a farmer, you could put this unit out there, and you could get it right on from my website, and you could put this unit out there and it will protect your garden and your livestock from radiation. And you could also get a unit to put in your house. It's called a quantified inducer, and you could also purchase that too. So it's one of my sponsors. So you go to robinharrisadvisors.com, radio podcast tab, scroll down to sponsors, go to Doc of Detox, and you will see that right there. Now, just a little bit more about that, because 5G is big. It's coming, and I know in some places it's already here. 5G is the 5th generation of this radioactive field that is supposed to do some wonderful things. It's supposed to do some wonderful things. It's actually supposed to make your internet speed super speedy. It's supposed to promote help you to do remote surgery, make your internet touchy-feely, and give you self-driving cars and virtual reality. Wow, it's supposed to be pretty phenomenal, right? But it also has it has been proven to have adverse health, adverse reaction to your body. It says right here, back in 2011, the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer classified radiofrequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. 9 years later, this threat has been confirmed by thousands of medical professionals. No longer are the risks simply possibilities, it is a reality. And it goes on. It says that earlier 2G and 3G cell phone technologies were detrimental to health, and now we're into the 5G. So you can only imagine what that's going to be like, right? The other thing is about 5G is the sciences regarding pregnancy and infertility. The science is conclusive that EMF's erratic pulses from mobile phones induces oxidative stress that damage testicular tissues and decrease sperm quality and motility. Electromagnetic fields that come from your phone, the exposure from these devices results in sperm mutations that have been shown by scientists at the University of Mainz in Germany to contribute to testicular cancer. And Professor John Aiken at the University of Newcastle has shown that sperm exposed to mobile phone radiation revealed a 300% increase in mitochondrial damage. Now, we know that if your mitochondria dies, then we die. So that's pretty serious. I have a feeling going forward with this generation that has been exposed to so much of this radiation through devices that we're going to have a lower birth count. I don't know. I mean, I'm no scientist, but I mean, just by reading the statistical information, and also this is coming from the Center of Global Research in Canada. Also, I thought this was interesting. Auditory system damage, which is, your ear and your brain frontal lobe. Adverse childhood development is from these devices. It is well known that children's brain tissue displays much more electrical conductivity when compared to an adult. A child's brain also absorbs the electric and magnetic fields radiation they more readily than adults. So that's why it's really important to get this even for your child. Put this around their neck because it will deter that from happening. It also it makes blood related disorders, and that could be your blood cancers like leukemia, and then your DNA damage. So it says here the DNA's double helix structure, we know that double helix, right? And then it causes it to act like a fractal antenna. So this right here, your DNA, because of the way it's designed, it's like an antenna. And guess what? This radiation that's coming from these devices is going right. It's connecting to that DNA. And so that's not good for our DNA, right? Again, it's really important to have these bodyguard pendants, or you can even get one for your home. So you go to robinharrisadvisors.com, and then you go to the tab Radio Podcast, scroll down to sponsor, go to Doc of Detox, and you'll see that right there. Or I did also post an article about this on Robin Harris Advisors, the news tab, and you will see a photo of the bodyguard pendant right there. Okay. One last thing talking about this mental cognitive risk. It says the scientific literature increasingly reveals that EMF exposure is contributing to the growing rates in neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. EMF's effect on brain tissue and neurons is an established fact based on epidemiological studies of populations living close to cell towers. And I have read that near these cell towers that they're finding dead birds and bees and things like that. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. But that's why we have to, protect ourselves with these bodyguard pendants and things like that. So in a few minutes, we are going to have a very special guest, and that is Daniel Lynch with Medical Bill Gurus. And I tell you, you will not be disappointed because they are in the forefront of medical billing. And about 80% from, he's going to clarify, but I read that about 80%, it could be more, of all medical billing is incorrect. And he would certainly be the one to confirm that. And he is the one that we will get all those questions answered. So we're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to get Daniel Lynch right here, right now, Medical Bill Gurus.
Welcome to MyLifeFunding.com, an innovative way to earn a residual income for life. Here's how it works. Advertise your business or skills on our platform for $39 per month, while inviting others to do the same and earn $30 of the advertisement fees.
Oh. My bad. Can we hit that again?
Hit another one.
Studio8181.com is a talent development and management company that owns its recording studio and video production center located in Peoria, Arizona. Share your media content, earn income, and talk to your fans all from one spot. Studio8181.com positions your content to be seen by important decision makers so you can attend exclusive auditions and or get invited to perform at venues many entertainers only dream about. The producers and engineers are determined to create new opportunities for talents, aspirants, and future stars. Don't have the money to do a soundtrack or a promotional demo video? Not a problem. You can simply request and schedule an audition. If you have the talent, we want to hear from you. Get your entertainment website and more. Email us at info@studio8181.com. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance. I am so excited because we have such a special guest it's going to be right here in video, Daniel Lynch with Medical Bill Gurus. Awesome. Daniel is he's passionate about advocating for the rights of patients and redefining the role of medical billing in healthcare. He leverages technology to help streamline processes and create innovative solutions to take on financial complexities surrounding healthcare each day for patients and medical professionals of all backgrounds, working on gaining you reimbursement for integrative medicine, redefining the role of medical billing. And this is true of you, Daniel. So glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, Daniel, and you are here. You're in Scottsdale today, aren't you?
I am in Scottsdale. I drove in yesterday from San Diego. I was visiting Tijuana and LA last week, so love to be back here in the desert and do some hiking hopefully today at Camelback. So.
Yeah, and that's what you do. I mean, you calm the world. Well, you calm the nation, and you are international, and you are going all over the world, and you're going to these integrative clinics. And what
yes, it is.
And what are you doing with doing that? Why are you doing that?
Yeah. So our goal at Medical Bill Gurus is we're here to help patients and be innovative as much as we can to face our healthcare crisis and the fact that our country's healthcare system is crumbling. So, at Medical Bill Gurus, we look at whatever problem a patient's facing financially, and we try to see if we can innovate in that space. I know nothing about medical billing, I'll be honest. I'm just a born engineer, and I see so many problems and need solutions. So I have a team of medical billing staff and experts in the industry, and we work together with our team of patient advocates to try to see how we can help patients and those who need help the most. Afford treatments that may not be covered by insurance, going to out-of-network providers, going abroad, and most of all, just looking at if they're looking to do something and it's their right to try that treatment, how can we help them get some type of reimbursement or financially plan for their care wherever they go.
Yeah, because how I was introduced to your company, it was some years ago. I was at an integrative clinic, and they told me about you and how you help get reimbursement through health insurance. And I was like, what is that? Tell me more. And you know what I did, because I don't rest on my laurels. I called your company right away and I said, what is this? I need to know about this. And I have already sent so many clients your way. So I really thank you for that.
I appreciate you so much, and we're blessed to be able to serve you.
Thank you. So your motto is empathy is my superpower. What is the story behind that phrase?
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, I've always looked at to know what is really my skill set, right? What is the value that I bring to the table? And for the longest time, I thought that it was because I was very technically competent. I could do SEO, I could do coding. I used to be an engineer. I could do any calculation. Talk about reaction rates, different engineering equations that I used to study. I mean, all these crazy things. And I thought, that was what my talent was. And only after my dad passed away, and I kind of reflected on why people like me, who I am, and the value that I bring is that, when I walk into the room and I sit down in an IV chair patient who spent their life savings, it makes me think of my family. It makes me think of the struggles that I've overcome. And I know how to look through their eyes. And if I'm going to tell them bad news, I'm going to be honest and transparent with them. But I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be honest, though. Because, so many patients get the runaround. And so empathy is my superpower, because I believe that the number one skill set that any entrepreneur or business owner can have is the ability to look through their end user's eyes and know what they're feeling. And if they are winning or they losing, right? And unfortunately, in healthcare and working with the amount of patients I do with Lyme disease, cancer, autoimmune, anxiety, depression, I mean, there's all these different illnesses and conditions that people define your lives. If you don't know what it's like to look through their eyes, and you're just very blunt with them, you're quick with them, you don't want to hear their story, you're not helping them at all, right? Because no matter what, when I talk to people and after they speak with me, if I'm not able to help them whatsoever, I still leave them with hope, let them know there's other people out there that they can talk to, and try to really just be that person I wish I had when my family was having issues growing up that, wasn't there for me, and kind of led me to go down the path of where I am today.
Yeah, empathy is a powerful source, isn't it? You have the sympathy, but then you have the empathy where you're feeling that person's feelings. And in your business, you are feeling people's feelings, because medical bills are so stressful. And in the medical billing, what kind of situation do you see that really is the most stressful with your clients?
Well, when people are given a diagnosis, or they're put into a certain situation with their health, and they look at what options are available with conventional medicine, or what options are available in general, it's a tough situation for a lot of people, okay? And so, with medical boogers, we work with everything from, let's say, like a soccer mom, running around with her kidney, pulls her back out, goes to the ER, gets a large ER bill. We can help negotiate that down, put them on better payment terms. And that's more, we'll say, conventional, right? And so a lot of people know that those services exist, but where Medical Bill Gurus really provides our expertise and is our wheelhouse is helping patients who are pursuing treatments that are out of network, providers that do not have managed care contracts, and thus the patients are typically paying cash. And so when a patient pays cash, historically, it's very difficult to bill your insurance, because you don't know how to properly code things, put on the right forms, maybe it's a CMS fee of $1,500. You don't really know how to navigate the system, and typically patients do not get the best outcome. So Medical Bill Gurus, we're a medical billing service for the people as much as providers.
Yes.
And so we're going to help patients navigate those type of treatments. So if they do want to go to Mexico for a treatment, they do want to go to Germany, they want to try something that is more integrative in nature that they have the cash for, we're going to be able to provide our expertise and get some of that money back potentially. And if anything, I tell people, let's have a conversation so I can help you understand expectations and realize there may or may not be money coming back, or if we have time to switch your insurance to a policy that may have a better reimbursement option available.
Right, and then, the thing is that is the key there, is the key the coding?
It's really a turnkey solution is the key. If you were to take a step away from the world of integrative medicine and cash-based providers, and you look at just a general Western medicine doctor, like let's say a family practitioner, okay, the most basic accepted type of medicine there is, whenever there's a billing team, just like a patient would need to get their money back, there's a biller and there's collection. And so they have full-time people that all they do is they bill out the codes and then they call to collect on them. We do that at Medical Bill Gurus too. And so you got to realize, though, is that patients, they don't do this full-time, right?
That's
so when
right.
they do that, these insurance companies, that's how they're used to getting their money. You have to literally force it out of them to some extent typically, or you have to help them navigate the system. And so, at Medical Bill Gurus, we have a team of patient advocates. We have about 10, 12 employees. We're ramping up, currently hiring more by the month. And basically what we're doing is we're training them to know how to call the insurance companies on behalf of patients, and then they're doing that for our clients, and basically taking the burden of coding and collections off of the patient, because it can sometimes take us months to get some of that money back.
Yes.
And we know what we're doing. So, I mean, there's nothing worse than a patient who's chronically ill or has brain fog trying to spend their very limited energy and their spoons on doing this. It's very tedious and time-consuming typically.
Right, it is, and I've seen clients where they get a bill, 3 months after the fact, 6 months after the fact, and they thought it was paid, and then here they have this bill that they have to deal with. I mean, it is a full-time job. But as far as the integrative side, now I know in conventional medicine, I'm a health insurance broker. Health insurance pays for very traditional treatment. It pays for your surgery, like cancer as an example. It pays for your surgery, your chemo radiation, and your very, very high dose, different types of medication, right? But you're talking about, these are integrative clinics. They're doing vitamin C drips. They're doing, sauna, that infrared sauna. They're doing the hypothermic and all this kind of, and you're helping these clients to get reimbursement for that, right?
Yeah, so here's the deal. We cannot bill for every dollar that's spent at the clinic typically, okay? There are some insurance companies that, are really good. We could bill probably for more than other things, but the reality here is that we can only bill for the FDA-approved items and the FDA-approved auxiliary services, okay? And so depending on the service that's being offered, we can look at what was there in a facility, there's a facility fee, there's a doctor consult involved, there's a nurse's time involved, there's supplies, there's syringes, equipment. We go through and we look at every line item, and then it's our job at Medical Book Gurus to go through and understand the industry and what they mean when they say that they're doing an NADIV or an IV glutathione push, a thymus injection, right? What does that mean? How can we bill that out? What's the part that we can't bill out? So I'll give you an example. A lot of patients are all about stem cells and exosomes right now. We're very limited in what we can recover for those services because stem cells and exosomes are deemed alternative or integrative in nature, typically experimental by the insurance company. So we couldn't bill those out. But if we had a consult for stem cells, then we could bill out that consult, because why would a consult with a licensed MD, a medical professional in that state, that's an approved item, right? You're having a time to talk with the doctor. We could bill that out. And so the more time you're spending with the doctor, those are different things, that we have to do. So, we're here to go through and navigate the system and understand what is going on with these treatments. And so that's why I do what I do at Medical Bill Gurus, is I travel around the country and I visit clinics. So I've actually tried a lot of these treatments, and I understand the value that they bring, that they're so great for patients who need something that's more holistic, and understanding how we could potentially build that out. But the reality is that when it's integrative in nature, there's so many IVs that are out there and so many things going on that, it also sometimes requires me having a relationship with the clinic to understand what they're doing with their patients, so that we can help itemize those bills and really get the best end result for our clients.
Right, and that's why you're out here as an example out in Scottsdale. That's why you were just out in Mexico, is because you're out there, you're speaking to the clinics, you're speaking to the physicians and so forth, right?
Yes, 100%. So I go into the trenches. I like to say I'm the war dogs of medical billing. So
yeah, you are.
Tijuana is in the peak of their coronavirus outbreak right now, and so when I went down there, it was like, it's actually, of all places I've gone, Tijuana was the most locked down. I'm on a 4-week trip right now around the country, and of all places, I definitely would say that Tijuana was locked down for good.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there was nothing really open. I mean, restaurants and usually Tijuana is packed streets,
I know.
people walking. I mean, but they're in the peak of their, so everybody's really locked down. So I actually was like, even though it's in the peak, I felt pretty safe when I went there, because everything, they have hand sanitizer everywhere, and it was really not that crowded. But it's interesting going state by state and seeing how they reopen. But the reality is, yeah, I go down there and I can tell you this, you talk to a stage 4 cancer patient right now, coronavirus is least of the problem. They're going to get treatment.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they can't wait anymore, right? You have stage 4 pancreatic cancer, stage 4 colon cancer. Patients are still going to get treatments as they're entitled to and they're right to, and so we're trying to be here to support them. Medical Bill Gurus, we had a little hiccup with coronavirus and how to work remotely, but we got set up pretty quickly. We didn't miss a beat, and so we're trying to still rock and roll and make sure we get people some funds to get some treatment.
Well, it helps the fact that you're an engineer and you're actually a tech person, right?
You could say I'm a little tech nerdy. You could say here and there.
I know you wear a lot of hats.
I do.
But I know that in Mexico, I know they have they have favorable clinics down there, especially for cancer treatment and that. I personally have cancer insurance. I have critical illness insurance. I offer it to my clients. And the reason why is I feel that it empowers you, because if you do get a diagnosis, as an example, with cancer, they give you a lump sum of money, and you could take that money anywhere. You could go down to Mexico, you could go to Switzerland, you could go, Poland, whatever. I mean, you know where all the centers are, right? They're all over the world.
I do. I have a list of almost every one. Here's the deal, right? It's that, there's different policies you can buy that pay out on a, let's say, a fixed variable, right? So if you have, let's say, an Aflac policy or one of those like accident ones that you're talking about, if you get cancer, they don't really care what you do with the money. They just give you a fixed amount, right?
That's right.
And so, my family had this accident policy. Unfortunately, a real accident prone. We set the record one year for South Florida market. My mom and dad did, and those companies were great. They paid out. They're the quickest. They pay you within like 48 hours sometimes.
I love that.
They're the quickest. It's phenomenal, right? But yeah, the reality is that our world is changing, and we're a globally interconnected economy. We're going through the fourth industrial revolution right now with coronavirus. It's ushering in a new age, and I believe in the next couple of years you'll see people going outside the country to get treatments even more. In Tijuana, there's a reason why I go to Tijuana every month. In Tijuana, that market is about to explode, because when our healthcare system collapses and patients can't afford a $30,000 deductible to go to the ER because they hit their head, or they get traumatized financially and they don't want to go to the hospital anymore. But you will see people going to Tijuana for more elective procedures, or trying to get all of their care in Mexico because it's a fraction of the price.
Well,
so it is a crazy world right now, and Tijuana is still treating patients right now.
Well, I know, because I got a call yesterday, and I get these calls on a daily basis, and I have to do consultations, and people just can't pay. You could have the insurance, but the deductibles are, you're talking out of pockets of $10,000 at a time. But I have Daniel, I have a question. It says, James, will this group take a bill, meaning Medical Bill Gurus, will Medical Bill Gurus take a bill that I didn't expect to receive, and items what being charged and negotiated for me? The insurance company is charging me about customary fees. What should I do? Okay, so I guess they're saying is, will you...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they basically want to know, what do you do if this person gets a medical bill and the insurance company is charging them the customary fees? What should they do? Does that make sense?
First of all, I need more information about that to really answer it. Who's their insurance? What is their deductible? What was the scenario? So I'm going to be completely honest, right? And I think one of the biggest things that in our healthcare system that we misunderstand, right, is that the insurance companies and the way that they pay out claims and how medical bills are calculated, some of it is you're screwed right now. All right, it's going to be honest, okay? So when patients get, let's say, less than $5,000 in bills, and you went to the ER, my rule of thumb is that as soon as you walk into the ER at a hospital, they typically will always hit your deductible. That's just the reality, right? As soon as you walk into the ER, you're going to be looking at whatever your deductible is. If it's a $20,000 deductible, you probably wouldn't hit that, but then the patient gets balanced billed for that deductible value all in one threshold go, right? It's one big bill. And so typically for those bills, we're kind of limited with how much we can assist, because they're always going to say, well, you did this, this, and this, your financial obligation is deductible. We can help you get better payment plans for that potentially. But really where we provide the best expertise is, let's say someone has like an $80,000 medical bill, or like a $50,000, and the insurance company is not picking up their portion whatsoever, or they're having issues, or they're not really processing those claims like they should, then we can help more with that. Because if we have more financial oomph to get in the game, where we can negotiate down more, or we can hit heavy hitters on where they messed up. But the reality is that everyone thinks that the managed rate that you get from the hospital is always too much, and that you're being overcharged, but that's honestly how it is at almost every provider. When you go to a hospital, as soon as you walk in the door, that's like $1,000. I mean, just walking in the door. Minimum, right? And so when patients have that, I'm pretty honest that, hey, if it's less than 5,000, we're probably not going to do anything. If it's 5,000 to 10,000, then we can get a little innovative and see if we can, see if there's anything else going on. But it typically needs to be more than 5,000 for us to really get some type of outcome. And the more money that we have to negotiate down or move around, then we could get better results, right? But if it's less than honestly, if it's even less than 10,000, our results of success go down. But if it's more than 10,000, then our success rates go up.
And then what I like about you, if it was less than 5,000, you weren't really able to help them as much. You do lead the client in the right direction. And what about, are you able to help people that don't have insurance? Say they went to the hospital, they have to pay cash for everything. Are you able to, is that a client for you too?
Again, it would have to be what the threshold value is of the amount spent. So, I always use this example, okay, is that the person that picks up the phone and you have, like, let's say a $1,000 bill, and for a lot of people, $1,000 can make or break it. You know what I'm saying? They maybe not be able to afford that $1,000 bill or $4,000 bill, but that same person gives you the same brutal, no, unempathetic response as the person with $40,000, right? And so again, that's why I go back that if it's not at least $5,000 to $10,000, then we're not going to really be able to get that bill gone down to go down fully. But then what we can do is we can help you get on better payment plans. But again, how much is the bill for, right? Because if you do walk into a hospital, there's always going to be some financial obligation you're going to have to be ready for. And that with the amount of overhead those hospitals have, they can justify a certain price. And I'm not saying that that's fair to the patient, because it's not, but that's what the pitfalls of a managed care contract system is without free markets and free competition. So, it's a broken system, but we try to help people. And if anything, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. I don't charge anybody up front. All my competitors, they charge stuff up front. I'm so confident I'm either going to help you, or I'm just going to tell you straight up I can't help you. End of story. I'm not going to charge you anything. I am so confident whenever I take someone on that I'm going to try to use something right to help someone. And at the end of the day, if I can't get any money back, I'll take the L and I'll fall on the sword with them. And I will cover the overhead of doing the work, because I do everything on a contingency only basis. That's right.
And, I know we mentioned about how unique. There's no one in the United States that does what you do, right?
That's correct.
There's nobody that does that. Don't you love that?
It's cool. I get to go over the country then. So,
yeah. I mean, that is cool. And just so everyone understands, I just want you to all know, again, this is Daniel Lynch with Medical Bill Gurus. And they really are the gurus of medical billing. And so just say again, what is it? Can you define that? What makes you so unique so people can understand that?
Yeah, so historically, so let me talk about, just to take a step back, right?
Okay.
About why is medical billing important to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? And so if we watch the mainstream media, we go online, we do this, everyone's always pointing fingers at it's the insurance companies, it's the patients, it's the providers, it's the pharmaceutical companies. There's all these people that people talk about with our healthcare system, right? But the reality is there's one connection between them. The financial glue of our healthcare system is medical billing. It is the most important thing that we are able to communicate those deals with us from a financial cash flow perspective, because the payers don't pay the providers and don't cover the patients unless there's codes and other transmittal of important documents, data. And so medical billing is so important for that, right? So historically, doctors that are in network, they have what's called managed care contracts, which is you bill out a code, you get a certain amount of money back, you do collections. At Medical Bill Gurus, we actually offer 7 verticals. So we are actually covering all aspects of our healthcare system. But the way that makes us different is that we don't just stick with just the conventional single, I go to my doctor down the street, build insurance collections, get a percentage of profits. We actually have multiple verticals for both in-network and out-of-network providers, as well as patients. So I believe that as we usher in the 4th Industrial Revolution and our healthcare system collapses, you'll see a bigger shift towards outcome-based medicine with concierge cash-based practices.
Yes.
Okay, and so I provide turnkey solutions to those practices. We help collaborate with them. We help when I would say collaborate with them, understand their protocols, understand what they're offering to their patients, and then ultimately help them prepare their bills and help the patients get them. Because the average provider just doesn't want anything to do with being contracted by the insurance company. So Medical Bill Gurus is innovative because we don't just have a fixed service offering. I'm an engineer. I'm a solution guy. I know there's plenty of problems out there, but we got to find plenty of solutions, and that's what I specialize in doing. with my team in Denver and Houston. And so, we're looking for ways to say, hey, if patients do want to go to Mexico and they don't want to deal with the broken system and having to go through the global claims department, we are here to help them. We have a turnkey solution to do that. And if it's a medical provider who's over there and they need help with their end of things, we can help them as well to understand what's the best way to prepare their American patients for success in terms of reimbursement, and also let patients know about them potentially. If they say, hey, Daniel, we're ready to work with you guys, can you let patients know? We'll let patients know that this is a clinic that we partnered up with to do their billing for their patients, and ultimately help them get the good word out about what they're doing. And my goal at Medical Blue Gurus is we're not affiliated with any clinic, we're not contracted, we're not partnered. We are a third-party outside biller for every clinic out there. We're just here to help the patient. And I believe a patient, their right, it is their independent goal per our Constitution to go wherever they feel is their best interest for their health care. That's why our country is great, but unfortunately some patients can't find that level of care, so that they need to go to Mexico, Germany, they want to go to Arizona, California. I mean, there's so many different providers out there, and we're here to help them navigate the system and try to get end results for them at the end of the day. I'm confident I wouldn't have a business if I didn't get results. I do everything on contingency. I know as a confident person, that's my goal. Whenever I hear that phone ring, I think of this my family, and I hope to try to think that if I was them, how can I help them? What would they want to hear?
That is the key. I mean, when you do anything like that, it makes a sense. There was something that you said, you talked about outcome, and I noticed that today's medicine, in a lot of ways, they're on autopilot. And I don't, and I almost like the consumer, because we don't really view ourselves as a consumer. I know I do, because I'm in the industry and I know I'm a consumer and I know I have rights as a patient. But a lot of people don't know that they're actually a consumer and that they should be concerned about the outcome, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, here's the deal. I've been blessed because I visit a lot of clinics and I have some phenomenal relationships with doctors. So I personally have integrative medicine doctors as my personal doctor. I have a doctor in Florida I work with who's taken a special interest in helping me with some of my issues. But here's the deal: is when I look at integrative medicine, I'm an engineer. I love data. I'm a firm believer that numbers don't lie, and when you have data to back things. But when I went to my conventional doctor, they said, Daniel, you have liver issues, you need to go on statins, your cholesterol, this and that. You know what it is that so I thought, man, for the rest of my life, I'm going to be on these medicines.
Right.
That sucks, man. Like I'm like 27, 28, still got my life ahead of me. Don't get me wrong, I need to make better decisions probably with lifestyle, like we all do, right? So
that's right.
I'll own that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I found is that when I went down the integrated path, I cleared it up in like 2 months.
It's amazing. The body's a miracle.
And so, it's like, why aren't we measuring myotoxins? We're looking at trichodecene toxin and mold toxicity. I work very closely with Dr. Spinagle out in Florida. He kind of helped me with some of my mold issues. And so, he ran all these panels on me. He does what's called Great Plains lab testing and Doctor's Data, Fry Labs. And so he's looking at...
Yeah, I know him, Dr. Fry.
What are your petrochemical toxins? You have benzene poisoning, right? You look at a lot of people who are from Baytown, Texas, and they end up in Dr. Spinagle's clinic because they've had such bad benzene exposure and they're getting anxiety from it, So, but the reality is I'm a big believer in that because, it's better to know the problem than not know the problem, right? And so
that's right.
Conventional medicine would say you're probably fine, et cetera. But the reality is if you were to go run some of these, detailed biomarker tests, genetic testing, you may find that you have a genetic modification that you're more likely to be adept to mold poisoning. So if you get it, you should know about it, right? You don't want to just sit on that. So, but if you don't address it over time and you just put the Band-Aid, well, no wonder we have so much inflammation that leads to cancer in society, right? I personally am a huge fan. I eat mainly pescatarian. I cheat a little bit with Chick-fil-A here and there, but I eat mainly plant-based, and I'm a huge fan of protein and tuna. And my whole lifestyle changed when I addressed my diet, and no one ever really talked to me about my diet. And I used to be a bigger boy, and I had all these issues, and no one ever said, Daniel, maybe you should just, cut back on the red meat a little bit, And so, I believe in a very holistic lifestyle. I meditate every day. I do a float tank. I have a massage chiropractic business in Denver. So I just believe in holistically healing is the best way, naturally, emotionally, and physically to, overcome some of those issues versus just taking pharmaceuticals and dealing with emotional trauma that leads you to these chronic illnesses down the road because you didn't address them head on. So.
Yeah, and it starts with the emotions because my first show I had Carrie Gray on, and she was talking about that, how that leads to disease or dis-ease. And I just wanted to say, Myra mentions great resource. Thank you. That's to you, Daniel. And
I'm humbled to hear that. I'm always humbled, and I always tell people, I said, here's the deal: that I only charge things if we actually use my team. For me, my time, I like talking to people. Majority of people I talk to, I'm never going to charge them anything. I say, if you have questions about our healthcare system and what your situation is, let's jump on a call and let's just see what we can do to help guide you, because a lot of people are just very misinformed and undereducated with how things work in our healthcare system.
yeah, and so Darla Reed, she's texting too or chatting. She's with Arizona Life Chiropractic. She's a peer, actually, of yours. And she says, great info. Wonderful. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And so James wants to know, what is your fee for negotiating a bill for a person? Like, how do you get paid for this?
We do everything on a 20% contingency of whatever results we get financially. So if we build something out, we get negotiated down, we get money back, whatever that financial difference is that we create and originate from, our fee is 20% of that. So that's why for some cases, I'll be honest, the smaller bills too, we can't take those on because, what I agree to with that 20% is that I'm going to align my team as a business owner. I'm going to take all the weight and burden of the overhead of doing that work. And the chances that we win, just similar to a personal injury attorney. And so I like doing that fee structure. A lot of our competitors will do $500 up front and then do a percentage as well of what the benefit is for that medical bill negotiation. So it really comes down to, I only take people on that I'm confident with. I'm not going to lie to someone in their face and take their money, $500. That's a lot of money to someone who already has a medical bill. So, I'm honest, hey, you sign up for a consultation, we do 20%. I'm going to tell you if it's worthwhile or not, because if it's not worthwhile for me, then, there's probably wasting both of our times, right?
Well,
so that's how I typically have those conversations is, this is what we can or can't do. I'm not going to charge you for just to talk about it.
I love that. I mean, I think that's very reasonable. You're taking that off my hands. Oh my. I don't have time for that, so I'm glad to give you the problem of medical bills.
Well, and here's the deal, okay? My average client, medical bill gurus this year, we've probably had about 300-400 people sign up, with our services, so we're very busy. But the average person we work with is spending anywhere between $25,000 and $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
With some outliers in the higher percentiles actually spending closer to $250,000 to $500,000.
That's right.
So, it's insane, here's the deal. When someone has a chronic illness, condition, cancer, people will do whatever they can to get better. They'll be desperate, right? Their life is literally on the line. So we're here to try to catch that Hail Mary in the end zone financially for them and try to, get some of that money back, or at the end of the day, let them know this is the reality. This is what can or can't happen. I've talked to a lot of people, especially in Scottsdale, the high retiree community, about Medicare. And that if you go to an integrative doctor that's cash-based, they're most likely opted out on Medicare, and even with the best PPO supplement, there will be no reimbursement.
Look at that.
Because, and so, it's important to know that, because the reality, and the reason I bring this up is because I know your demographic, people listening to this may be in Scottsdale. I know it's a huge retiree community, and they tell me, Daniel, I've got the best plan F. I've been paying into this for 10 years. I'm so confident. How much money am I going to get back? And they have a very devastating impact when they realize that nothing is going to be covered because the facility has opted out of Medicare guidelines. And the way that Medicare supplements works is that they go back to Medicare guidelines with that managed care contract system to some extent, okay? And so, I want to have those conversations with people so they don't think there's money coming back. They do financially plan, and they have the most honest, transparent approach to as they move forward with their health care.
Yeah, my friend Carrie, who was here on the first show, when she was diagnosed with terminal cancer at the age of 25, she was told that she would have to pay for everything. She survived, but she had to pay that money, right? I'm sure she would have loved to have the benefit of your company. And Cheryl Stinson, this is what Cheryl says, Daniel. Thank you very much. I appreciate this info. Thank you, Cheryl.
I'm so humbled. I just jumped in there so I can see the comments.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. And can you just briefly, say what's the difference between, what is a patient advocate? Now you have a patient advocate and you have a medical bill advocate. Is there a difference there?
So, the way I look at it here, okay, is that my goal is to provide turnkey solutions to problems that patients are facing, right? And so when that's the case, when it comes to the medical bill advocate side of things, we can help. We can help negotiate bills. We can navigate the system. The patient advocacy portion, is a little bit different. It's got two aspects of it, right? For me, it's the passion and it's the service, okay? And so on the service part, that's where we're following up. We're advocating with the insurance company. We're going to the providers, working with them from a business perspective. But one of the big things about the patient advocacy portion is I personally am just so invested in helping people who have problems, like and talking to patients. I have had so many suicidal patients call me because they just knew who else to talk to. And also the medical billing guy is over here, and the reason I am like that is because empathy is my superpower.
Right.
And when people hear my family struggle and my story about where I've been and with mental illness and challenging, with what it was like to grow up with just a lot of chronic illness and mental illness that ultimately led to, my father's no longer with us, that, I just, man, my heart just explodes, right? And I think that's why my business is doing so well, is because I feel for people. And so, typically when we're not having the coronavirus issues, I travel around the country to support groups, conferences. I visit families. I visit people who just don't have anybody to talk to sometimes. And I meet them at Starbucks and we talk about their health insurance. And so, I just feel so passionate about connecting with people on a human level and, looking that we're all just free spirits on this journey. And so many people end up in a bad predicament, and maybe they just need someone to give them a little hope, a little inspiration, kick them in the right direction, and let them know, hey, I've lost people who are just like you, man, and they're feeling like 10 times better. They just had to get that right doc, that right IV. The blood work was good, and most of all, they got their spirit back, right?
Yes.
They got back on their feet. And so, I personally, that's what fires me. I love going around. One of my things I'm notorious with, and there's a girl in San Diego who knows this, that, she called me, she wasn't feeling the best. I said, you know what? You're afraid you're going to die from Lyme disease? Get in a Mustang with me. We're going to pop the top. We're going to hit 130 on the highway. And that's how that's how you should be afraid to die, not Lyme disease,
That's
and
right.
So ever since that girl has not stopped smiling, I told her, your face is gonna hurt from how much you're smiling lately, and changed her. And maybe that's a little bit different, but that's how I do medical billing. That's why Medical Gurus is different than any other medical billing companies, because I built this company, I built this brand on people, passion, empathy, and getting results. And at the end of the day, if anything, I provide transparency and hopefully leave people with a smile.
Yeah, and you talked about Barry says great information, Daniel. Thank you, Barry. So the thing is, I know you touched on it, but you said there's a new paradigm going forward, the future of medicine, the future of medical billing. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's a topic for another time. But
I can give you a little run through if you want.
Okay, let's do it.
So I think here, and this is just the reality here, right, is let's look at outcomes, right? The future healthcare system, I think, would be very interesting. You'll see some insurance companies are adapting to this with employers, particularly Salt Lake City, Boulder, San Francisco, where there's a high population of entrepreneurs that is holistic in nature, is they have outcome-based type plans where they partner with maybe the cancer clinic. They say, here's the deal. Instead of us going and paying $250,000 for XYZ chemo immunotherapy drugs, let's try some hyperthermia, some IVs for $25,000 and see if that can knock the cancer. And then that patient's getting better level of concierge care because they're going to an integrated provider versus a conventional doctor that may have done something different, But I think the future of where medical billing, where healthcare is going, is we need more competition. We need more entrepreneurs to innovate. And that's where I love it, man. I'm all in.
Yes.
I am so all in. I'm not gonna curse. I almost cursed on here because I'm so excited about it. But I'm all in, baby. And so I'm ready to blow it up. And I'm very confident that awareness is a great agent for change. And as the system breaks with so many people and so many different things are moving on, I have like 4 other businesses, and so I'm a born and bred entrepreneur, and I'm gearing everything towards healthcare. And understanding that the more we run it like a lean startup, I always use the example of a SaaS company. If no one's familiar with the tech world, I come from a pretty big nerd into the digital marketing world of things. Software as a service, the leanest way to run your business, cut out middlemen, cut out profits, and just provide a great service, get people results, and try to be as lean as possible to maximize the cash flow. And right now, there's all these different issues, but I think technology, blockchain solutions. I've had a company approach me to partner up in regards to blockchain solutions for medical billing at one point, and started an insurance company based off of blockchain. So there's a lot of innovation. It's going to be entrepreneurs and engineers who bring in the next usher of healthcare, not the doctors, in my opinion. It's got to be the entrepreneurs who figure it out.
I know someone who's an engineer also, and she started a mastermind group. Maybe I should get you in touch with her. And that's what they're talking about is just brainstorming on healthcare, and the system, and how to make it more to have better outcomes. I love that word outcome, that you're using that, because unfortunately the word outcome is not being used as it should. It's not being considered, and as consumers, they are not looking at that, because if you look at the local hospital, how do we know the outcomes of the local hospitals? If I knew the outcome of hospital A and it wasn't good, I'm not going to go there, right?
Well, and I'll give you an example. So I actually work with another doctor in Denver, and I'll flip it a little bit, because he's integrative, but he's also more conventional in nature. So instead of doing like Mexico, Germany, hyperthermia, he works with like doctors in network. And he basically says, we should be looking at tumor markers and recommending a particular doctor or clinic's success rate off of those tumor markers. So if you have stage 4 cancer, let's say breast cancer, with these certain biomarkers, that maybe you should go to this clinic in New York or this clinic in San Francisco, because they have had the best success with their drugs and protocols for those specific biomarkers or something, or tumor markers or genetics, et cetera, right? And it makes sense that, if we were to do, let's say, chemosensitivity testing on 100 cancer patients, you would find that you could probably group them into different buckets to some extent, right? And so that's where the outcome base is a lot of doctors say, well, I want this patient to only have to do one round of treatment versus trying all these different drugs. So let's go do very expensive, it's not cheap, very expensive lab testing, do the RGCC test, do biomarker tests, genetic tests, look at lifestyle, look at myotoxicity, and then make recommendations for your cancer based off of that. And so that's why I'm in Scottsdale right now, because I have a lot of clients who specialize in doing that. And so I'm actually going to be going over to one of them today and doing some treatments, some photobiomodulation, some IVs, some infrared sauna, and kind of detox a little bit.
That is so cutting edge, and that's why for me, I have a catastrophic plan for myself, but I basically pay cash for everything else. I just negotiate it, and it's all I only go to holistic doctors. Except one time I had to go to a dermatologist, and that was because of this. But what I'm saying, Daniel, I went to a nail salon and I got an infection. But what I even learned from that experience, if your body is at the ultimate, if it's at the ultimate health, I mean, you can't get these infections. Your body is repelling them all over the place. So I mean, that's the key too.
Yeah. I talk about this, a lot, that I'm very blessed that a lot of clinics I work with treat me for free. I mean, I try things because they want me to understand them, right? So I feel like, I travel a lot, and when I first started traveling, I used to get sick all the time. I was just not feeling good. I was, at the time I was staying not in the best hotel rooms, definitely had some mold exposure, just not good. But, over time, I was just really blessed because I got to try these treatments, and over time, I really saw the benefits of, hey, when you travel, you should be doing vitamin C IVs, you should be doing glutathione, you should be trying to do some, detox when you can, Myers. So I do a lot of IVs, and what I end up being is that I haven't been sick in a while. And
That's right.
I tell people, I've got the best antibodies because, I travel so much that my immune system is exposed to all these different environments. But everywhere I'm going, I'm still tuning it up. I've done some immunotherapy vaccines. I actually did some immunotherapy vaccines in Mexico. I've done hyperthermia multiple times. I do IVs all the time. And I'm trying to always detox and live that holistic wellness lifestyle, and it's completely changed my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like the Energizer Bunny. I only need to sleep like 3-4 hours a night, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, you are the Energizer Bunny. I have to say, Daniel, I always love talking to you. Every time we talk, we're on the phone a long time because, it's invigorating. We, having that commonality of health and helping people, right?
Yeah.
So this is such a fantastic interview, and you bring so much good information, and what a valuable service that you bring to the populace. And you're nationwide and international, really.
Yeah, we're in 15 countries. I hit last year. I think I hit 22 states. This year, I think I'm up to like 15 almost. I mean, I'm always traveling. I mean, and coronavirus has put a damper into that, but typically I'm on the road visiting new clinics. And as soon as a new clinic opens, as soon as a patient is telling me that they want to do something, I'm on a plane. I'm going there. I'm looking to solve problems. I'm bringing the solutions, and so I love traveling, and I love being a nomad, to be honest. I mean, I love nothing more than just getting in the car. I spent probably like 8 hours yesterday and just got lost in the Sonoran Desert on the way here to Phoenix from San Diego. So,
yeah,
I love traveling. So
we live in a beautiful desert, the Sonoran Desert, and when we do what we
So-
love, it brings up our frequency, and we're just healthier than ever, right?
Oh my goodness, I love it.
So how will our audience? Wait a minute. Marisol Serra said, very thorough explanation. Thank you very much, Marisol. So she really enjoyed your explanation, Daniel.
Thanks.
And
Thank you so much.
so how can our listening, now this is a nationwide audience, so how can our nationwide audience request a consultation with Medical Bill Gurus?
Yeah, they can go to our website, www.medicalbillgurus.com, or they can give me a call directly on our 1-800 number at 1-800-674-7836.
Can you say that a little slower, please?
Yeah, sorry, it's the Energizer Bunny coming up again. So visit us on our website at www.medicalbillgurus.com.
Right.
Or you can give us a call at our 1-800 number at 1-800-674-7836, and all of those calls go directly to me. I believe in picking up the calls. I like talking to everybody, so they all go to me still directly. It may take me a day to get back, but I get back to everybody.
You are the Energizer, but you know what?
Always, baby, always.
Daniel.
And when you're high on life, it's hard not to be, you know what I'm saying? So.
Now, let me ask you. Do you have that T-shirt that says empathy is my superpower, and you have a photo of you opening out like Superman?
I don't. I should go get it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, that sounds like a good T-shirt for the gym or the beach for sure. Get a cut off tee with that. So I might have to get one of those.
And then
that's a good shirt for me.
And then Medical Bill Gurus on the back.
That's right.
And then
That'd be sexy.
and then all of your clients, as a thank you, get one of those.
I guess I never thought about that.
I know. See, you're
goodness.
the marketing guy, right? And now here you go. There's a little one from me.
Well, look at that. You know, I always try to stay humble. So
I know you are.
But maybe it's time to be repping with the big E on the chest. You know what I'm saying? I love the flex.
Oh,
so maybe that's
I like that.
Get the Superman with the E, the empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
The E, the empathy, and you are that. Daniel, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. I hate to see you go. You know, it's just a matter of time. You know, it's looking at the clock.
I love Scottsdale, so I'm here every month anyway. So you know, it's full party season. So you know, I'll be back in Scottsdale. So we should come meet up, and we can always do even meet and greets or anything. My thing is I feed out the energy of people. It's one of the favorite things I do, and I haven't done this in a while. And maybe I can get back into it. Is go meet patients at Starbucks and go over their insurance policy in person and educate them.
Oh,
you know, so
we could
let's
team up on that.
Let's do it, Old Town Scottsdale. So.
Okay, we'll definitely talk. It seems, and because the audience in the chat, they absolutely love this, and I mean, definitely we have a lot of interest here. Daniel, thank you so much. I will be in touch with you again, and thank you for being on the show. That's medicalbillgurus.com. Give Daniel a shout out, and he's the person to help you with your medical bills. Go from victim to victor. That's what I say. And right here, Daniel, thank you so much, and you have a wonderful time in our beautiful city of Scottsdale.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a hike in a little bit. It was great speaking with you. Have a great day.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Cellphoneradio.org is redefining webcasting and podcast productions. We're uniquely positioned to help you take advantage of the digital world we all live in. So if you have an idea or content for a webcast show or a podcast show, we would like to hear from you. We offer an innovative way of funding and creating outstanding webcast and podcast shows to earn income for developers and viewers. Please enjoy our current posted shows and interact with the host. Ask questions in real time and/or have one of our producers create a stunning digital advertisement spot for your company that can be inserted into our selected show schedules. Thank you.
When you want to get the accurate information about the future of health and health insurance, just watch the Robin Harris Podcast Show every Thursday.
How do you
Sounds
disconnect
good.
it? Connect.
I think it was good.
You're on.
I'm on. Hi, it's Robin Harris. Robin Harris, the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance. What did you think about that? Daniel Lynch with Medical Bill Gurus. He is on fire. I mean, he's going to do a lot for patient advocacy. He's only starting out. I mean, he's young. I mean, he has so many fantastic ideas, and he's only starting out. So you're going to see a lot more from him. And so go to medicalbillgurus.com, medicalbillgurus, GURUS.com. And if you know anyone that has medical bill issues that are trying to get reimbursement for integrative medicine, give them a, reach out to them, and they will be so happy to help you. So I'm going to talk now. I shortened the show. You wouldn't know it. It's already been an hour. So I'm not going to say a whole bunch more. I was going to get into telehealth and FSA and HSA, but I'm not going to do that because of the time. But I do want to say, if you do have a HSA, which is a health savings account, a health savings account by definition is basically a 401k for healthcare. So you could put money into that. It's pre-tax through your payroll, and there are tax advantages. It accumulates interest. You can earn money into it. It's like an investment return, and you could use that those funds to any qualified medical expenses. Now, this is interesting. You could use that. You know, we're talking a lot here about holistic medicine, chiropractic, acupuncture, things like these. Even what Daniel is talking about, the IVs and so forth. You can find out if your HSA, those are covered expenses. And I do know under HSA, if your doctor does recommend or prescribe a certain vitamin, that's covered under HSA, right? If your doctor says, say it's a chiropractor, and he says, you're going through a cleanse, and I need you to do a colon hydrotherapy. If he writes a prescription out for that, that could be covered by, it could be covered by HSA. You have to check, and it could definitely be a tax deduction, okay? So I know that because I do that myself. So, but things like, let's see, chiropractic, acupuncture, dental treatments, eyeglasses, even a guide dog, HSA can be used for infertility treatments, laser eye surgery, a midwife, right? So these are things that a HSA will, you can use that HSA for. So take advantage of that. I mean, it's tax-free money, right? And it accumulates. You don't have to spend it all like a flexible savings account. Like a flexible savings account, you have to use that before the end of the year. So, wow, I am so invigorated by that interview. Next week, we're going to talk, we're having such a special guest next week, and that is Dr. Dennis Cathcart, and he is the owner of Arizona Life Chiropractic Center. Dr. Dennis Cathcart is a doctor of chiropractic since 1992. He has received numerous awards of excellence in his field. Dr. Cathcart seeks to improve his patients' health and wellness, which means looking for the underlying causes of disease, discomfort, and pain. There are various topics that we can talk about. He's so well versed. I mean, he has helped women that have had couldn't conceive to be able to have babies. And I mean, that must really feel good to do something like that, right? And those that have asthma, diabetes, and fibromyalgia, he's been able to help those patients. We're going to talk about something that is very sort of controversial. I really don't want to get into controversy, but unfortunately this is becoming controversy. because of what's going on with the COVID-19. So, and they're talking about vaccines and that they want everybody to have a vaccine. That's what they're saying. Okay. Some articles that I've read, they're saying that. But he's going to get into vaccines. He's going to get into what's in a vaccine, what ingredients, how they could be harmful to you. And he knows what he's talking about. I've seen Dr. Cathcart talk, and you will not be disappointed. If you're a mom especially, you definitely want to tune into that one. Okay? So, if you want to be a special guest on the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance, you could just go to my website, robinharrisadvisors.com. And you could go to radio podcast and scroll down, and you could put in there, I want to be a special guest. If you're an expert in the areas of health or health insurance, like Daniel is, he is an expert in medical billing. If you're any expert in any one of these fields, please, we would love to have you on the show. Okay? And then I want to thank my producer, and that is James Dunson. He does so much to bring this show about. And then also our tech guru, Scott Atram. Thank you, Scott. So much goes on behind the scenes. You don't see it. There's a bunch of lights here. There's all kinds of equipment in front of me. You can't see it, but it's here, and Scott does it all. And, I really hope you like this show today. The whole purpose of this show, the Robin Harris Show, Health and Health Insurance, is to bring the experts on, and that is in the field of health or health insurance. And the reason why is I've been a health insurance broker for a while now, and I realize that people need resources, and a lot of times they don't know where to go. They just don't know where to go. So they go online and they put in a search, and sometimes that information could be misleading and it could be harmful to them. So I thought if I could, do a radio podcast and have the experts on, and you could hear right from them, and you could get the true resource. And I hope you find that helpful. And so, as you always know, I say the best health insurance is taking care of your health. Okay, so the best health insurance for you is taking care of your health. Well, thank you so much for being here, and all those that chatted, and that was James and Myra and Darla and Cheryl and Barry and Maricel and Scott. Thank you all for being on the chat, and we really look forward to you listening in next week. Go to YouTube and subscribe, and next week, 10 o'clock Arizona time on Thursday, we'll see you again. Goodbye for now.
When you want to get the accurate information about the future of health and health insurance, just watch the Robin Harris Podcast Show every Thursday, 10 a.m. Arizona time at cellphoneradio.org, or dial 408-418-5050 and enter the access code 81810#. It's an invigorating show where Robin brings you experts in the field of health and health insurance. The audience can view the show and ask questions of her guests in real time. That's the Robin Harris Podcast Show every Thursday, 10 a.m. Arizona time at cellphoneradio.org, or dial 408-418-5050 and enter the access code 81810#. What's in your health insurance plan?
Studio8181.com is a talent development and management company that owns its recording studio and video production center located in Peoria, Arizona. Share your media content, earn income, and talk to your fans all from one spot. Studio8181.com positions your content to be seen by important decision makers so you can attend exclusive auditions and or get invited to perform at venues many entertainers only dream about. The producers and engineers are determined to create new opportunities for talents, aspirants, and future stars. Don't have the money to do a soundtrack or a promotional demo video? Not a problem. You can simply request and schedule an audition. If you have the talent, we want to hear from you. Get your entertainment website and more. Email us at info@studio8181.com. Thank you.
Cellphoneradio.org is redefining webcasting and podcast productions. We're uniquely positioned to help you take advantage of the digital world we all live in. So if you have an idea or content for a webcast show or a podcast show, we would like to hear from you. We offer an innovative way of funding and creating outstanding webcast and podcast shows to earn income for developers and viewers. Please enjoy our current posted shows and interact with the host. Ask questions in real time and/or have one of our producers create a stunning digital advertisement spot for your company that can be inserted into our selected show schedules. Thank you.